Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 3 of the Relationship Marketing Experience with myself, Chandler.
And you got Dave Picardi here from the East Coast.
West Coast, East Coast, right here.
Yeah, baby.
Coming at you not live. Maybe one of these days we'll run this thing live. Once we get our stuff set up, we'll do it almost daily. We're going to call this the Almost Daily Show because we almost do it daily.
One of these days we'll get it done no matter what, daily.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But for now, almost daily is pretty fun.
I think so.
Yeah. So today we wanted to talk. What are we talking about today, Dave?
So I think we were just having this conversation, so we figured this is what we'd break down in the show today. So obviously everybody has nailed down content strategies and content calendars and working with your team and developing your brand identity and personality, all the easy stuff in the business, and you're pushing it all out to all your social media channels, and you're tracking all your numbers and making all your adjustments. Now that we get all the easy stuff out of the way, how do you actually interact with the material once you push it out?
Yeah, I think this is a big spot where businesses really fail. Everybody says, "Oh, hey, make all this content, push all this content out," and then so people do that. And then what they forget about though is that you actually have to interact with people who consume your content on there, and the interaction that you have with people on your social media platforms, and even if you're a local business, the more you interact, the stronger you build that relationship with the people who consume what you're putting out, and the more likely it is that they're going to want to continuously interact with you and come in and purchase your products eventually.
Yeah, so what are some of the strategies, right? So I get a post out and I get 20 likes and 5 shares and 4 comments. What do I do from there?
Yeah, so I think what you need to do is you need to pay attention. So you put your content out and you can get on, if you're on like Facebook, you can get on and see who shared what. And so then you go and you check the shares and you see what people are saying on each of the shares. And if someone shares something from my page, then I'm going to comment and say, "Hey, thanks for sharing. I really appreciate it." And then if someone comments and asks a question, we get on there and answer. If someone comments something goofy, we get on there and we're goofy right back with them. So I had a post today about not being a robot in your marketing, and someone commented, "Well, what if you are a robot?" So then I said, "Well, then I guess you got to be a robot." Sunglasses, faces. And so you just get in there and have a little fun with them, and then they see you as someone who they like to consume the content of, someone that they want to follow, and someone that they really appreciate the fact that you put this out. And you want to build that, and that's the ultimate relationship. So how quickly can you get connected with people, and how can you interact with them in everything you do?
Yeah, so I think something that I noticed people get hung up on is everyone's looking for instant results. And I know that's something that we preach is there's a long-term game here with relationship and nurturing, building trust. And it's not necessarily about, you just think of like when you're looking at your overall network that you're pushing out to, you're just trying to basically, like Chandler's always saying, build raving fans. And so if we have raving fans, the person that you interacted with, maybe that person eventually becomes a client of yours or interacts with you in some capacity. But ultimately, the game is you're trying to get that person to then also talk about you and spread through their network. And so you're trying to just, if you're real and you're answering questions and you're interacting, they'll start interacting back with you, right? And it's just a natural behavior that people do.
Yeah, exactly. I think people get too hung up on, I need 157,000 likes on each of my posts, and it's all about likes, but it's not about the massive number of likes. It's the amount of people who are consistently engaged with your content. And if it's one person, but that one person will follow anything you do, comment on all your posts, tell you how awesome you are and how much they love you, share everything, that one person is significantly stronger than 100 people liking your stuff, but only half paying attention. And that's the relationship. I need to get that one person so heavily engaged that they love everything I do, and they are now a raving fan. And then we build that following behind us where these people they'll buy anything from you because they trust you and because you've given them the opportunity to consume what you do and you've interacted with them.
Yeah, very important. So let's shift gears. So what about, when we're looking at like Instagram and Facebook in some capacity, the game people like to play where they go on and like everybody's stuff so that they like their stuff back and they try to get as many followers. Yeah. How much stock do you put in that?
So that one of my biggest pet peeves, and this, if a brand does this, they're dead to me, and I'll never interact with them ever again. Is when you, yeah, this is my one of my biggest pet peeves here is when you get on Instagram and you follow and unfollow dozens of accounts, whether you do it yourself or you use a bot. It's one of the most insincere things you can do to grow your following. It's 100% robotic. And people notice that. They notice the brands that do that. They say, oh, look, this person followed me. And then 2 days later, you unfollowed them. And then they wait 2 weeks, and then they do it again. And you get this, like, insincere, robotic, like, tone to what you're doing. And then people don't want to consume your products or follow your services. And so I think what you do on, like, Instagram is it's okay to go on and like people's posts, but it should be, like, you doing it or someone you assign to do it who's going on and liking things that are relevant to your industry so they see us. And maybe you post a comment, but it's you commenting, not using, like, a robot to post 100,000 comments on a specific hashtag. It has to be genuine, and it has to come from you. And people will notice that. Like, the bullshit detector is super strong with people, and they realize it. Like, oh, look, this person's using bots. They've unfollowed and followed about 1,500 accounts today.
And a lot of that is, when you look at, like, big business strategy and they're trying to get huge market penetration and they're spending a lot of money, maybe, that a lot of that stuff's built for that. But if you're a smaller business owner and you're in the relationship business and you're trying to build your brand locally, it's really hard because who has the time for it? Problem being is in the new world, everything revolves around it, right? So you need to make the time and you need to learn the game. It's the way you're going to grow your business and maintain relationships and all that stuff.
Yeah, and what actually builds it stronger than the follow-unfollow game, because everybody knows that game and nobody wants to participate in that. But if you want people to follow your brand and pay attention to what you're doing, you have to, number one, put out really good stuff. But number two, on Instagram, if you look at, like, what really works, it's contests. You have to give things away to people that they want and like, get them to tag their friends in the post, and that's how you build a strong brand. And so you have to give away, like, something related to your brand. You have to have some sort of monthly thing that you give away to people and have them, like, tag 3 friends in the post. That's how you explosively grow your brand on Instagram, because people want that stuff. People are only going to half pay attention to the follow-unfollow game.
And that's a social media application of community building behavior. So any small communities, and ultimately, like, in order to be in any relationship business long term, you have to build a community of some sort. And game is bring a friend. Right? So communities get built because it's infectious. People really get into what you have going on. They feel connected to it, and then they want to share it with their community and their people and their network. And so that, say offering out some sort of a contest to win something, if they're really into your brand, then they're going to want to share that with their friends. So they're sharing it, they're liking it, they're pushing it through their network. So that's an application of community building behavior, which is like bring a friend, refer a friend. It's just really easy at this point because social media allows you to connect to everybody on the planet in some capacity.
Yeah, exactly. It's how can I get someone to get their friends engaged with what I'm doing, because I've already engaged them enough to where they trust me and they want to show their friends what's happening. And that's exclusively how you grow really big on Instagram. That's how you get people to tag people, pay attention to what you're putting out, and then want to share what you're doing because they want what you're offering.
Right. Yeah, this is good, man.
Good.
One of the things that we're going to work hard at is not talking for an hour. We're going to make sure that we give everybody like a 5-minute daily breakdown of some stuff and not go overboard listening to talk.
For sure. And we're at the 9-minute mark, so we better cut this off until tomorrow for our almost daily show.
Right. I like that.
All right.
It's
been fun, Dave.
It's been real.
Yeah. Always real. Remember, if you guys have questions, post them in the comments. The comments are down there. And if you have questions, post them down there or shoot us an email, Chandler@ootcmedia.com or Dave@ootcmedia.com, and we'll answer them in an episode. Thanks for watching, guys.
All right. See everybody tomorrow.
See ya.
See ya.